Hello everyone, my name is Emmy Albaster, and this is my White Mage PvP guide for Final Fantasy XIV. So I've been PvPing since Season 1 and have obtained Crystal in every season so far. And I am currently on track of getting Crystal this season as well. I am currently sitting in Diamond 1. And so a single victory will push me over. So I should obtain it this season as well. Last season I did hit top 100. Though I do mainly play Summoner. I have a decent understanding of how White Mage operates. I have played it a few times in ranked before. And I've experienced many White Mages. So I'd like to share my knowledge of them, the tips and tricks that you can use with a White Mage in PvP, and my overall thoughts. And hopefully it'll help you guys out in some way. If you guys are just starting your PvP journey, or if you're currently ranking up, climbing that ladder, hopefully you learn a thing or two. I'm just going to be going over the basics and a few ways on how you can survive the onslaught that is Crystalline conflict. So, as you can see by my hotbars down here, we really don't have many spells to play with. White Mage is great in that it is incredibly simple. You don't have a lot of button bloat here. So it's very easy to pick up and play. There are a total of 7 buttons outside of the universal PvP actions such as recuperate and guard. And I will be going over each button individually and how to use them effectively in combat. But first, let's talk about White Mage's strengths and weaknesses in general. We'll start with the strengths. Number 1, as I stated earlier, it's simplicity. It's very easy to just pick up and start your PvP journey with a White Mage because of how few buttons there are, and it will generally take you less time to get used to them compared to other jobs. Strength number 2, it's versatility. It actually provides a lot of healing, of course, while also providing a good chunk of damage as well. White Mage can be very bursty with some of its spells, so it can help you secure and push kills when necessary. And its third and final strength is reliant and powerful CC. Even though it only has technically one CC button, it is very potent in that it is probably the best form of CC in the game. It's called Miracle of Nature. We'll be going over that in just a moment, but just know that the CC that a White Mage has, it's really good. Speaking of CC, we can't go through the strengths of White Mage without mentioning the LB. This is just a little note on the side. Its LB is very strong. Probably one of the best LBs in PvP in general. It's called the Flatus Purgation. We'll be going over that later as well, but just know that it has one of the most potent LBs currently in PvP. As for its weaknesses, it does rely a decent amount on its team, or on to get things done. You can, and you will have a lot of opportunities to push the advantage or to save your team from tragedy. But your team, if they don't know what they're doing, you're going to have a hard time basically getting anywhere. So you can definitely help push a good team into success, and you can push an excellent team to a decisive victory. But you're going to have a really hard time pushing a bad team into a good spot. Another weakness is they have no mobility. You're going to be relying on your own 2 feet. Basically, the whole time you're going to be playing sprint. And that's pretty much it. You got to sprint to get where you want to go and to get where you need to go. You do have one dash button, which throws you at a enemy. I wouldn't recommend doing that unless absolutely necessary. I would use this. You can use it for mobility, but it has so many other effects going for it. You're probably going to use it for something other than getting from point A to point B. And we'll talk about that move later. And the final weakness is its threat generation. Now, you don't generate threat like a PvE scenario, right? But it kind of is like pulling aggro on a boss whenever you're just around people. A lot of people do understand that White Mage is the primary healer. Even the most basic combatant probably knows this. And they'll try to kill you. They'll try to run you through with their sword, their axe, their scythe. They'll shoot you with their gun, with their bow, and they'll do whatever they can to kill you. You need to ensure that happens the least amount as possible. So good positioning and knowing how to deal with pressure is very important for any White Mage. Overall, though, I would still say its strengths far outweigh its weaknesses. Its kit is just so powerful, and it really is hard to deny. So we're going to go ahead and go over their abilities. Let's go ahead and start with... Let's start with the most basic ability, yeah? Let's start with number 1, Glare. So Glare has a 1.5 second cast time, and it deals 5,000 potency with a 25 Yalm range. So what you're going to be doing here, and you're just going to be hitting this whenever there's nothing better to do. It just deals 5,000 potency straight up, single target. You can weave it in between movements, so you can like move left, hit it, move right and hit it, move left and hit it. Just to deal that little bit of potency on the move. Okay, nice and simple. The second ability we're going to go over is Cure 2. Now this has a 30 Yalm range, so you can actually cure someone from pretty far away. Targeting this guy here. And if I hit Cure 2, I can hit him with that cure. I think I'm going to get a pat for that. Thank you for the pats. But it has 2 charges. That's one of the benefits of being a lalafell, by the way. It has 2 charges and it has a 15-second recharge time. And it can be cast on either yourself or an ally for 12,000 potency and healing. So you can do it on yourself. You can pick someone to heal. And then you gotta wait for it to come back on online. And it'll hold up to 2 charges. Very simple. The next ability we're going to go over is Aqua Veil. Aqua Veil is a interesting ability in that it is not a spell, it's an actual ability, so you can use it in between casts. What it does is it has a 20-second cooldown with a 30 Yalm range. It creates a shield of 8,000 potency around either yourself or an ally. Last 10 seconds, it'll get used up. The duration really doesn't matter. And it also nullifies one status affliction that can be removed by Purify. So basically it'll absorb like one stun or one slow, right? And really you won't be seeing this too often. It can come in handy, right? It does sometimes help, but there are so many stuns and slows being thrown out in PvP that you pretty much just want to use this to try to save people who get caught out of position or trying to run away or going in as a... You can throw it on one of your melee when they dash in. And it's a really effective tool to kind of give a little bit more defensive power to your attackers or someone trying to retreat. And like I mentioned before, it is an ability, so what you could do is it can be cast instantly after anything you do. So like say you want to throw a cure and then immediately Aqua Veil, you can. You don't have to wait for the rest of the GCD on your spells in order to use it. You throw it out right away. The next ability we're going over is Seraph Strike. Now, Seraph Strike is probably the most interesting of the and intricate of the White Mage abilities. What it does is it's basically a dash, and what you can do is you can use it to dash towards a target. Generally, you're going to be using this on enemies to in the beginning or during a skirmish. During the beginning of a team fight or a skirmish. So it has a 20 ohm range, so you can do it from pretty decent. It is a pretty decent distance here. And what it does is it deals 8,000 potency to the target and all enemies near it, so 8,000 AoE in a 10 ohm range. It grants Protect to yourself automatically, and then any allies in range that get hit with that AoE. It reduces the damage they take by 10% for 10 seconds, so it's a little bit of a damage reduction for everyone. And it grants Cure 3 Ready, which changes your Cure 2 into Cure 3, which is an instant AoE heal. So let's just see how it looks like. Little dash. Okay, and it deals the 8,000 potency. This dummy even got hit with it, so it's a pretty decent AoE. And then my Cure 2 got changed into Cure 3. Now, it only lasts 10 seconds, right? So you have a limited time to use it, but when you do use it, it does change to Cure 3. And it's a 30 ohm range, so I can cure this person over here if I wanted to. But when I use it, it'll do a AoE heal around the target that you use it on for 16k. So you're going to be using this ability whenever you need that extra burst of mitigation and healing. You will rarely use this for damage. Sometimes you'll use it for damage, but mainly you want to use it to try to assist your teammates that are engaging, right? So if you see, like, say this Dark Knight is engaging here, and you can engage on the target with them, and then hit them with the Cure 3. If they were in my party, they would have got hit with the Cure 3. They will also get that damage reduction from the Protect. Okay, so just a little trick here that you can do. If you're out of, say, cure stacks and you still need to throw out a heal, so you can cure them again, dash to a target, and hit them with the Cure 3. So that's how you get 3 heals. You can also Aqua Veil them if they're truly in trouble. So always remember that you can use this as an option to grant yourself another form of healing. The next ability we have is Afflatus Misery. Afflatus Misery is a 25 Yalm, pretty much nuke. It has a 15-second cooldown, so relatively short cooldown. And what you want to do is, it has a little bit of an AoE, but not as big as Seraph Strike. So see, if I use it, it'll deal 12k, but it won't hit this target like Seraph Strike will. It's not that big. So you're going to be practically using this to assist your team in getting kills or securing kills. You never want to use this on someone just randomly. You always want to try to use this on an enemy who is already being attacked, who is low, who is being pressured. So, yeah, it's really, really simple. It does a small AoE, so if you can hit multiple targets with it, great. If not, that's okay. You're again going to be using this for pressure. Okay, so your next ability is Miracle of Nature. So Miracle of Nature is a 10 yalm, so actually really short. It used to be longer. It used to be like 20 yalms, so you used to be able to do it way over here. But it's now 10 yalms. 25-second cooldown, and what it does is it transforms the target that you hit into an imp or a pig. I can't do it on this target because, you know, it's a dummy, and turning the dummy into a pig or an imp would be griefing. So we cannot do that, but the best thing about this ability is when you use it on an enemy, it cannot be purified. It only lasts 2 seconds, but if you are attacked and you're under pressure, you could just turn them into a pig. And you have 2 seconds of freely doing whatever you want. It's also a very, very, very potent offensive tool. And that's how I would recommend using Miracle of Nature. Whenever your teammates are going for kills, whenever they are going for an enemy who is out of position, who is coming out of guard, that's when you want to use your Miracle of Nature to help secure those kills. You can use it defensively, don't get me wrong, and sometimes it is better to use it defensively, but I always find that offense trumps defense in winning games. So of all the abilities that I just told you about, you're going to want to use them offensively, even your heals. Now, obviously, don't heal the enemy, but you want to be healing your allies who are going really aggressive, who are pushing for those kills. You want to watch out for that. You want to keep your eye on them. Keep your eye on your allies who are consistently and aggressively going for picks, and you want to try to keep them alive, assist them in any way, throw them a heal. Hit them with the Aqua Veil, charge the target that they're going after, hit them with the Misery, keep them up with the Cure. I didn't mean to press that button, but that was the LB. So let's go ahead and go over the LB. We might as well go over it since I hit the button. Afflatus Purgation. Okay, this is the LB that I was talking about. It is a giant Kamehameha. That's what it is. 40 yalm range with a 40 yalm radius. It is gigantic. Okay? So what it does is it deals unaspected damage. With this ability will win you games. 100%. It deals damage with a potency of 18k. Okay, to all enemies in a straight line. Now, when I say straight line, I don't mean like this little tiny beam in front of you. It is huge. It's like a cannon, right? And it'll hit anyone within that radius. So it'll deal 18,000 damage and apply a 2-second stun to whoever is hit. You know, this target got hit here. I'm gonna keep scooting over and see how many times I can hit this target while targeting this target. See, I'm not even close. I'm targeting this one, but it still hit this one. It is gigantic, okay? So not only does it do an 18,000 damage potency attack, AoE, it also has a 2-second stun, so it can be used as a form of CC as well. But it also grants Temperance. And what Temperance does is it increases the damage dealt and healing potency by 10%. Okay? Damage and healing, and grants regen to yourself and all your party members within 30 yalms. So it gives everyone around you a hot. It makes them stronger. It makes their heals do more healing for 15 seconds. Okay? And you can do this every 60 seconds. Just out of range right here. But see these wings? That means that you just hit LB. You have the temperance buff up. And as long as you have this buff up, you'll buff everyone around you. This ability is insane. I believe this is it got a minor nerf a few patches ago where it used to be a 3-second stun, and now it's only quote 2 seconds, but it is still incredibly potent. You're going to be comboing this into so many things, or into this so many ways that you can use this ability to end games. Right? You're going to watch an ally go in. You're going to cure him. You're going to jump in, hit him with a misery, cure him again, CC the target, Aqua Veil, hit him with the LB, 18k, stun him, throw out another heal, and then you get another heal in case they're in trouble, another misery. So use your abilities in a very offensive way, and you're going to have a lot of success on White Mage. Alright, guys? And that is pretty much it for the actions. Final words on how to really utilize White Mage to its fullest capabilities is be aggressive, but always be careful. You're going to want to minimize your deaths as much as possible. Like I mentioned earlier, you're going to be the target of a lot of ire. You're going to be aggressively jumped on, and you're going to want to avoid as many deaths as possible, while at the same time trying to get as many support kills that you can. Remember your ABCs while PvPing. You want to always be casting. Alright? Even if you have all of your abilities on cooldown, make sure to assist your team by hitting the target that they're going after with Glare. It puts a lot of pressure on them. And it'll just overall help you snowball your way to victory. Remember, you're a healer, ... but, and that's when you pull out the gas. Alright, guys. And that's going to be it for the guide. I know it was a little shorter than usual, but I do hope that these explanations help you in your games going forward. And if you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can visit me on Twitch. I'm always live on Twitch. I'm always playing 14, and I'm always PvPing. So if you want to catch me, you can go over to twitch.tv/melbaster, and you can find me there. There'll be a link in the description below. And good luck in your games, guys. I know you guys can do it. The climb is rough, but with White Mage, perhaps it'll make it a little more easier for you. Go out there, have fun, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.